just as we're gonna get ready to go in, I'm just fixing the version updates in my calendar so I get the right date. I'm stupid. With that now, it should be all fixed. Good. I'm gonna have a friend joining, hopefully, for a bit. So yeah, this is gonna be spoilers for the story. I'm gonna warn you guys right now in advance. I'm gonna be trying to do both acts. Maybe in 2 parts, but we'll see.
Some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything from her. Oh, we can't just keep waiting around like this. Let's go find Catherine and pick up some work so we can at least keep ourselves busy.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment, Paimon. Anyway, let's see. I would like him, but I also don't know a build yet. Oh, hey, compensation. I'm gonna take that. Ooh, hi. You know how to pretty much do. I might roll one, but I want to save for Albedo, who's in the next one, because let's see. I doubt it shows, but they confirm.
Once there was
Edit
a
that out.
glorious kingdom established among the heavens. From that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out.
Yeah, I know.
Everything's ready. Let's go.
Oh, hey, so I can get another koi.
Everything's ready. Let's go.
Matrix Overseer. Well, no time like the present while we're waiting for the guest.
Steady as stone. Let the show be.
Nowhere to run.
Let's see here.
Futile.
Just like we rehearsed.
Your sins weigh upon your soul.
Let's see it. Ooh, whoa, this is actually. Ow! Ow. Okay. Ow.
Come on, we can do it. I'll protect us. Fight this on your side.
Through me, justice is served.
Go, go, go. Come on, let's see what you can do. So, you know. Whoa, what was that?
I must leave no. Just like we rehearsed.
Judgment is upon you.
Okay, that was pretty cool. Honestly, I think I will like you know, a lot. Why I do that? Why? What's this do? Oh. I got a little bird following me now. Okay, what about you? What? How are you, Candace? Also, here's a little note to some of you people, whether you're watching this on YouTube or for the Twitch VOD. If you are sending me friend requests on this game, and I do not know you, I will reject them. I will only accept friend requests from people I've interacted with for a good amount of time. So if you're a complete stranger, or just someone in the chat that I've talked with for a bit, chances are I'm gonna reject it.
Freeze.
Yield.
First Hydro pole arm character. Wait.
Pin them down.
It's a counter shield!
You're in for a little shock.
This moment will be frozen.
Hear my prayer.
Come on, hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Fine. Screw you.
Let's spark things up.
Don't get frostbite.
Just like we rehearsed.
Grant us your blessing.
Oh, it's a counter shield.
Oh, so sorry.
Try this on for some.
We shall prevail.
Come on. Come on. What are you gonna do?
You're exposed.
Surrender and be gentle.
This moment will be frozen in time.
It's a counter shield like Kingdom Hearts. These new characters are great. Really, I have to like complete that one? Or wow, okay, sure. Whatever you say, game. Triumphant hero. Let's begin the story stuff then. And then let's not begin yet. Because hello? There you are, buddy. Do I want to put that there for you to make? I'll get more later. And get that up. But for now, let's go straight to Catherine now.
Astra Avisask. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Let me think. Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait, say what now?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing the poem.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears that you're not interested in this commission. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Hey, that's not any better.
Yeah,
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the Adventurers Guild?
Paimon.
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often. Ah! So
Yep,
it's
Nadia.
Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head? From when she said, "Ad Astra Abisask." So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream.
Just. No, that's as far big as I could apparently make it. Just have things set up for when my friend comes.
It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was a happy one. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. They danced round and round, and everyone looked really happy. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground, and I was throwing an endless amount of Yalda candies at the children. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah, but unfortunately that's not what the...
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity? No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too
Sorry, I
sad.
accidentally
By
might
the
have
way,
opened up
have
Steam,
you had a
but
chance to visit
that should have
Junior's
stopped.
How's she doing? The Homianis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to check on her. Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own withering. But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning. Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival? So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else. There are too many adventurers around here. Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. we're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
Paimon, you might want to keep your mouth shut.
Let's continue our chat here. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida? Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts.
My thoughts, eh?
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages. I've already tried that, but all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because they're wary of me. Have you already caught the sage's attention? I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly. No way, that's too risky. You mean it'd be too easy to get caught? No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. A single mistake could completely ruin their lives. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals.
Okay, sorry if I'm
How
a
is
bit
that
silent
any
sometimes. I'm
different
just
from what the sages
listening
are
along.
doing? That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumeru.
Also, if things go well, come next version updates, if I stream, I might be wearing some cosplays and be trying to set up a face cam.
Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already. According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal. Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously. Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
Someone's already involved,
You're
but
saying
hasn't.
we should recruit a spy? That does sound like it could work. Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots. Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Setaria? Setaria? Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand Sage of the Academia? We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now.
I see where this is going.
Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu. I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Setaria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and also gave her the opportunity to serve as the sage's assistant. Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries. The name Sitaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling light. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many
The Scarlet
disasters.
King, I'm guessing.
The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night sky? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes. From the sound of it, Sitaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problems. Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their schemes anymore. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Sitaria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city.
Oh no, don't tell me this is a
Tomorrow afternoon
stealth.
just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there.
To gather info with Nahida.
This should be Sitaria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So should we ask the fortune teller about Sitaria? No, I already have enough information on Sitaria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking style and key characteristics. Talking style and key characteristics?
My poor lost lambs, have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh. My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Really, King?
Health prospects. No
I'm going with
problem
health.
at all. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for... many tens of thousands of years? Impossible. Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is suboptimal. As such, there will be no charge.
Is that so? Well, that can't be.
Hey, free fortune!
If you were to bring some food offerings for Heart and Mart on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Alright, who's next on the list? Oh, them over there.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Sumeru City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers, would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Yeah.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret, and I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
Yeah, that's always good to see.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough Mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
Okay, who's next? Over here?
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's a good restaurant. There's a lot of good food there.
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars, and I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Sure, but you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
Oh, whoops.
Makes me laugh every time.
So I just had to check something. Alright, back to it. Here we go.
So, was that everybody?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Sataria face her problems.
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of the Scarlet King. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So, how do we set that up?
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different.
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King, and then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure.
Ooh, this
She'll
is
never
sounds
guess that we
risky.
had anything to do with it.
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
observing humans for a while. I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, before that, what can I cook for the food and getting some? Where is some food that I have not cooked? That's one I can once again only cook one of. Yeah, let's start cooking this one. Sorry about the cooking, guys. I'm just trying to get stuff up on the battle pass, so this will just be getting me up there as fast as possible. I know I'm overboard, but I'm just going for the max so I can just ensure it done. Again, I think what it wants is not 10, but 20. Let's see here. Oh, that's it? Let's just do this to finish it off. Hey, look at that. Already on one. Just in here to buy real quick. Oh, hello. That is really disgusting looking. I'm gonna say the coconut charcoal cake looks disgusting. You. And by you. Da. Okay. Let's go for here. There has to be a way to speed that clock up more. Let's push ahead. Oh boy, how is this gonna work?
Oh, here she comes. Satori is here.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot to begin possessing them. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kind of nervous. Okay, let's
Oh
go.
boy, this is gonna be.
Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
Oh, thank you, no stealth.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again?
Shh. Oh, God. Ah! Can't believe I'm. Sound like a temple echo. Muted. Good. I muted. Good. Good. Doing a little cheating using my own stream. Harut and Marut. Yeah, there we go.
Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
Ahem. So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the divine voice of wisdom.
I didn't totally.
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
Sorry guys, I need a drink. I need a drink because that was actually a little funny. I'm gonna run a quick. I put the wrong thing. There we go. I'm gonna run out. Okay. I'm back. I got a drink. But it's not over. The reason I haven't started it for those might be listening is because I'm waiting for this ad to end. Unless it's... I actually don't know if we're back. It could just be a cooldown. Oh, it's a cooldown. I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth.
Oh boy. I have no idea what to pick. Yeah, it's not like a laugh. That would make sense.
The gods are asking, Setaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Setaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their divine forgiveness. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, wait a second. The Scarlet King passed away a long time ago. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can the Scarlet King still exist in real life?
That's interesting.
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
She almost noticed us.
Oh, she just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset too.
Well done. Setaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotions really well after all.
All I know are some abstract Harabatot theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be
This
utterly
is
useless.
getting interesting.
I'm still trying to make sense of everything. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Setaria.
She's out of Keys now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
I'm going to just take that. Thank you very much. Promotions! Next one.
It's okay.
Not
Just
now!
Caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to pay him a visit. Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those Scarlet King believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or the Scarlet King? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of the Scarlet King?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at
It's like he could play the villain as well. Just like his sister. Oh, wait! Both of them could be the hero or villain.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Sataria. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yo, what up?
Oh, hey there.
Come on! Sataria's already started talking with Shishan!
So,
Alright, the stream up.
So, little update of pretty much what's going on. The Dendro Archon's letting us possess people, and we're trying to get Sataria here too,
Noticed anything weird in the city lately?
who pretty much have regrets of leaving her home land in hopes of getting information of the Academia, because not sure if you read the summaries of Acts 1 and 2 yet. Yeah, if not, you can still read them during the stream. Yeah, with videos late another time, maybe tomorrow before a part 2.
Oh, right.
But
Speaking
the
of
Academia has
strange
been doing shady
I
business in
celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many
Sumeru,
times that
such
I lost
as
count.
what happened in Act 2 one
That's really
time,
weird.
putting the
Wait.
entire city in a
How could you be aware of
repeating,
that? That should
never-ending
be
dream.
impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything like that.
Basically, think of it as
Are you still
Groundhog
failing to
Day,
realize that
only
the
it was
Academia's low
everyone
metrics
in the
can never
entire
deceive
city,
all of
and it was up
Sumeru's
to
citizens?
you and the Dendro Archon to break everyone out of it.
Jishan, don't tell me that you've confronted
You know,
the Scarlet King as well.
That's pretty fucked up. Like,
What an absurd
evidently, but
question.
still worth mentioning.
Make it sound like I should
Yeah,
be
and that's
ashamed
people
for
being
becoming
sick
a
and pretty
believer
much
of the Scarlet King.
being locked into
In
that,
reality,
unable to get
shouldn't
what they
you
need
be the one who is
need to get
ashamed?
better.
You, who works side by side with the Academia, and treated
It's
people
like they're
as
really living the
nothing
same
more
dream,
than
thinking they're
experimental
healthy when no,
subjects.
their condition's getting worse.
Please stop.
So right now we're trying to get information on it, and
Even now,
yeah, you might be
Sataria's
thinking,
still
wait, isn't that
trying to run
Catherine?
from her problems.
Yes and no, that's Catherine's body, but she's under the possession of the Dendro Archon.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! What should we do?
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matra right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, Try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be.
I admit, I don't know how far back we are.
Never forget
This is
that the
still
desert that
pretty
belongs to
in the
you
beginning.
lies elsewhere.
I mean the stream. I don't know how far back I am in the stream.
Well, you can also do the screen
In fact,
share
You, the strange one?
that I
The one
have.
who
Remember?
Still can't pick a side?
You have that up, right?
Yes.
What an
I'm blind.
absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Yeah, we're using
Why
the existence of a probably evil dead god to try and make her have her return to facing her problems. Because if we can get her on her, we can get her on our
Seems that
side.
no
We can
matter where I
get some
run,
information
I
on
only
what
keep
the
finding more believers of the
Academia's
Scarlet
real goal
King.
is. Because
I have to say, this is
let's say there's a lot going on, and the Academia is like,
I've also been
oh
running
no,
from my guild
forget
for
the
some time.
new Dendro or
Part in the
Archon
Sage's
Lesser Lord
plans, and from ignoring the letters from the
Kusanagi.
children of my
The
homeland.
only true Dendro
No
Archon
matter
was
how
the
much
one
I may
that
try to
died
ignore or get rid of it,
in the Great
the guilt always comes
War.
back.
The Great Lord Bukutava. Yeah. While they're still believers of the new one, it's just like the Academia is kind of like almost trying to like erase the new one's existence.
You won't necessarily.
Sorry, had a bit of technical issues.
That's fine.
Besides,
But
you really want to conduct your research
current
on
Dendro's
heavy
fake.
feelings of
Well,
guilt?
No, the current
like,
Dendro is considered fake to
How do you
the
know me so well?
Academia,
Are
but
you
when in
truly
reality
just a
she
believer of
is
the
the new
Scarlet King?
Dendro
Or
Archon.
are you the god
Because the old
himself?
one's been dead for a
That's not
long
important.
time.
The important thing is
So,
to
like,
use judgment
by
of
necessity,
academia and its
effectively.
sages, and to correct their mistakes.
Yeah, they're trying. Like they
You can
admit
provide
that
some assistance in this matter.
the old one's
Perhaps
dead,
it
but they
could
try to
serve
say
as a
like,
form of
no,
atonement.
there is no new Dendro Archon. The
I've
old one,
actually
even
never
dead, can
believed in
never
the
be
gods,
replaced.
But I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance
Oh,
faded up
that's a
until
little
I couldn't
worse.
Get out of this wretched situation. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the Sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zero's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's
Yeah,
specified
this is just a personal theory, not a confirmed
However, there's
plot.
something that's been really bothering
I
me.
feel
I heard that a
Patui
scholar who was previously
involvement
Celtic
with this
returned to
whole
the city.
scheme that the sages of
And
the
sages are
Academia
so
have been
quite wary
doing.
of him.
Namely, if
To fight
I
against the Academia. we will
look
need to
at
figure
the
out
whole
the
Harbinger
nature and the
trailers,
purpose of their work.
one in
Is there a way for us to get
particular,
access to the confidential documents you
the
mentioned?
Patui that goes by the name
It should be
the
possible if we're
Doctor,
willing to take some risks. After
considering
all, I'm an
experiments
assistant to
are
the
his
Grand
thing.
Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside.
And what better than a whole country of human test subjects?
I won't be able to transfer the documents to
Yep.
the Akasha once I get my hands on
Dude's a
them.
twisted,
Sages
mad
have always closely
scientist
monitored all
asshole,
activities within
in
the
my
Akasha.
opinion, from what
Let
what
me
info I've
see.
gathered on him so far.
Let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the Academia entrance.
Good trope, not a great
The Academia
person.
entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap.
The one
9 out of 10 doctors don't recommend hanging out with him, and the 10th doctor we ask happened to be him.
It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
Alright, I trust you.
So, If I were to successfully complete this task, would it mean I've atoned for my wrongdoings?
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our side.
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves all the praise. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway...
Interesting line from the goddess of wisdom herself. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I really do like Nahida. Like, for being pretty much the youngest and newest of the new Archons, she is wise as fuck. But then again, I guess that's fitting for the goddess of wisdom.
Yeah. Plus, who's to say that wisdom has to come from age?
I mean, in God years, she's like around 500 years old.
Well, no, I know, but like being a goddess of wisdom and being the younger one, it's still playing against the usual trope.
Yep. Also, so if people are asking and if you need to ask, yes, I am using Traveler right now after a long time of not using him. Why am I using him? Cause Dendro Traveler's so good! Sorry, were you about to say something before I fanboyed a bit there?
I thought you were giving me a little room to guess, and I was making the joke guess that you were just doing it for the sake of the stream.
Oh no, that's just the ironic part. That it's like, oh wait, this is actually fitting that I'm using him a bit more. Because I tried it, Electro Traveler, and then I know that come Act 3, I was like, yeah, I'm just sticking to the usual team. Electro Traveler is kind of still meh to me. It's better than Geo and Animo in my opinion, but still kind of meh. And then Dendro Traveler comes in, and a lot of people are using Traveler more. But that's because prior to 3.1, Dendro was not playable and only had one elemental reaction. Now it has 3, along with some combo ones depending on what you do with some of them. Or at least combo ones with the Hydro one.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a recipe for, at the very least, an interesting current meta. Whether or not it'll stay that useful is to be determined, but still nice to see that they're trying to add more.
I mean,
What do you feel is off?
Dendro pretty much has given Electro characters a major buff now, because the Dendro Electro reaction pretty much means that once they're hit by Quicken, any further Electro or Dendro damage that hit them while they have that state applied will deal extra damage.
It's a whole fuck.
And keep in mind, back then, even though there's been great Electro characters like Raiden Shogun and Fischl and even Kitching, for example, they've all been kind of mostly in the energy battery due to Electro just being so good at generating energy particles to build up bursts.
But now that we're here,
So now getting
let's
that
go ahead and eat
offensive
as we
buff
live.
thanks to just the new Dendro reaction,
As long as you're
that's
here
pretty
with
much
us,
now
Paimon feels a little
turning them from getting the short out of the stick as energy batteries to actual good, viable offense that people are going to see a lot more of.
And the fact that they can still supply energy means that even if they aren't the best offense, they still occupy a nice niche.
and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards.
Yeah, because a lot of people say this, and I do agree. The two elements that have currently the highest DPS value is Pyro and Cryo, which, ironic considering before we get to Conria and the end game, those are the last two regions we're going to visit. Pyro first and then Cryo. Which is why I'm guessing if we would ever see a full-on DPS Traveler build, it's gonna be in one of those two elements.
You know, I know it's not like the most confirmed thing, and I haven't been keeping that much track of the plot. But I would love if your first exposure to like pure DPS Traveler is fighting your twin using those powers.
Oh shit!
And to a rather spectacular way.
It's him!
Even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed.
Oh. Oh fuck.
Days they tend to call me the Doctor.
The second? He's number 2?
If you're looking for a researcher friend,
okay. Okay. Things got serious.
Discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly,
damn.
that's the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
What? That guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru.
Oh.
Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
Well, of course he'd figure that out, being the scientist he is. Worst part is, even if we kill this body, as is actually stated in one of Child's dialogues about him, he makes prosthesis, or as you could say, clone bodies, of several parts of him in different ages of his life. So, who knows how old the real Doctor is, even though he is human, but the fact he has several bodies in key moments of his life
Paimon needs to catch her breath first.
practically means we won't know if we killed the real one or not.
We only made it out because of
Oh man, I love Doombots. I mean, not like the same thing, but similar principle.
Wait, what?
In Doctor Doom, in Marvel, his whole thing is that he has, like, various different, like, doubles of himself that still act with the same level of
And wait.
integrity as
If I'm
himself.
correct, isn't Doctor Doom of Russian origin? Or of a country within Russia? If you need to look this up to confirm, do so.
I'm gonna double check. I know Latveria is supposed to be an allegory for some country.
Such a high rank.
So let me double check.
That guy was number 2. So scary. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who once got expelled from the academia came back recently. And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah. Now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the academia. They're in cahoots with the Fatui.
Knew it.
What are the Fatui after this time? Another Gnosis?
It's considered part of Europe, strictly.
I mean, Russia is a country in Europe.
So, like, probably?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised somehow if the Doctor was inspired by Doctor Doom somehow.
I mean, that'd be fucking rad. Considering how little Marvel's doing with them, it's nice to see someone take the concept and do more with it.
I mean, we might see more in the MCU because remember, we are getting a MCU version of Fantastic Four.
And also Secret Wars, which if Doctor Doom isn't the villain of, is going to be bad.
I mean, maybe he might have a part, but I did hear that Secret Wars is the start of having Kane the Conqueror as the antagonist. So that probably
Sorry, quick. I have been too focused on this stuff to not have to lore dump right now. I apologize.
That's fine.
Basically, Secret Wars, the movie, is going to take place after the initial Kang movie, and so it'll depend on whether or not Kang is a 1 or 2-parter. Because if he's a 2-parter, Secret Wars isn't going to be about Doctor Doom. If it's a 1-parter...
I mean, it could possibly be try and be both. Like maybe this is just me being a bit ridiculous here, but maybe they're gonna be like, oh yeah, Kang's the big bad 2-parter, and after Kang's defeat, surprise, actual big bad for this entire new phase saga is going to be Doctor Doom, and we've just been secretly hiding and building up to him.
I mean, I would love that if it's like oh yeah, by the way, Doom took control of the fact that you guys were ignoring him for Kang.
I mean, we don't know what to expect, but let's keep in mind, many probably were expecting horny and just wanting to kill to impress Lady Death Thanos, or just generic homicidal killer Thanos for the MCU. And what did we get actually?
One of the best villains in fiction.
One of the best versions of Thanos, in my opinion. Like, I like MCU Thanos. Do I agree that Infinity War 1 is better than Endgame? Yes, but I also make the argument that Endgame Thanos only was the way he is because he got cocky by seeing the future he won.
A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy.
Yeah, I feel like it's not that Endgame Thanos is out of character. It's that he's just significantly weaker as a character.
Due to seeing the future he won. The timeline he won. He thought he was invincible, but that's what led to his downfall.
Yeah, and like, at the end of the day, I can still respect the writing.
In all of Sumeru. We're here on the orders of a client known only as the Outcast.
The Outcast? An outcast from the academia? But why wouldn't the Doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well. Local mercenaries of Sumeru are probably better than Fatui. I mean,
still wasting time on
the fact that this guy's 1, number 2, and 2, the smartest of the Fatui Harbingers. means we cannot underestimate any of his strategies, I think, at this point.
I mean, in all honesty, I fully believe, like, this might be going a little too far into speculation territory, but it's also possible that he doesn't even trust the Fatui. He's like, I'd rather hire some mugs that aren't going to need too much info.
Honestly, that's probably what he is. He doesn't want... he just wants to, like, see these guys as expendable pawns and waste his actual main Fatui force. Even though the Harbingers are the ones in charge of all of it, but still, I did not expect him to be number 2.
I mean, through endurance alone, even if it's technically cheating because it's just body doubles, he definitely deserves that ranking.
I'm really, personally, am not seeing a boss fight with him. Like, he doesn't seem like the kind that would fight unless he's using some kind of science gimmick. Heck.
Did he predict that we would try to find Tainari? Going up against smart people is
I could see a weird, like, I don't know.
The trailer's already kind of set a possible boss in line, but I'm hoping we fight both of them eventually. Like, we do fight the Doctor, and we still fight the Scaramouche, the Balladeer.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, based on the amount of this character I understand, he'll probably only fight you when he's cornered, and he will outnumber you with all of his body doubles at once.
We'll see in time. Oh, speaking of, here's a character from the manga.
I forgot this thing already got a manga. Like, I mean, good for them, but...
But yeah, poor Coley. I hope we don't tell her about the Doctor, considering one connection she has to him. As in, she has a very bad disease. The Fatui offered her parents a cure, but it was, of course, a trick, because the Doctor used her in parts of his experiment, and that's what is one of the plots of the manga, with how she befriends Amber and how Mondstadt pretty much helps cure her and stops a Fatui we plot.
You know, I might be more into the manga if it... Sorry, based on that description, is the Traveler, like, not a key player in it?
This is before the Traveler came.
Oh, hell yeah, that's actually interesting. I don't know. The Traveler's not a boring character, but a lot of the other characters around them are just so much more integral to the plot that I'd love seeing stories about them.
I think that is the kind of the point it's trying to, like, build interest with the other characters too. The Traveler is meant to represent you, the players, you interact and you get interested in the characters, but they also have their own goal to find their other sibling and basically try to slowly build their character based on how they interact with all the others.
Yeah, like, it works from a gameplay perspective to have the Traveler be this way, because you want your player character to be something self-identifiable? Probably a better term for what I'm trying to say here, but effectively works well for a game because you expect a player, but I don't know if an anime or manga could make the same character as effective.
We'll see, considering they are making an anime version of this.
Yeah, that I did hear about.
They said it's a long-term project, so that means we don't know when it will end, and hopefully it will end sometime after the game ends. But I'm curious of how they'll write personality more into the Traveler.
It'd be neat if they go all out with, like, the fact that they need to characterize the Traveler for the medium. Because I'd definitely rather take a arguably out of character version of him, or them, whatever, than a straight adaptation of a silent protagonist to a manga or anime.
Unless somehow, since they're apparently saying this is not the traveler's first time visit to Vatch or something like that, they're trying to make the anime a storyline of him and his sibling, of the two travel siblings, actually before the events of this game. It could also be like a prequel story focusing on them, but that would still give them personality regardless.
Yeah, actually, that'd be a smart move.
Yeah, because honestly, it would be smarter because that way they don't have to worry about, oh shit, somehow the anime, due to probably hiatuses that we had no control over, to update the game to a new version for more story, or putting a lot more minor update versions than we thought before the next big chapter is now pretty much hit the point where it is in the game. So we have to now delay the anime to get the game ahead of the anime. Like, that is a risk factor, and that will unfortunately, while some people like you and me would probably be patient, others would just probably lose patience and be like, yeah, I'm done.
I mean, people, like, I definitely, sorry, I started talking before the thought formed. I could definitely see that being a problem, where if it does try to, like, because if it's a prequel, the anime can be at its own pace, and yeah, you might get, like, world lore spoilers, but you won't get, like, story spoilers for the game if it's doing its own thing.
They don't have to include all the characters in here, and heck, they could even make characters that new characters that could later appear in here as part of it.
Wait, look who it is!
Hell, they could even make characters that just, like, dude, depending on how far, like, the whole prequel thing would be, it'd be nice to see the old Archon.
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now.
Like the ones that died.
The doctor has shown that his technology can apparently even control human minds. Plus,
Yeah, that could be
it's
interesting.
not like you could have known what happened after
Because
we split
remember,
up,
in
and I
the
was
lore,
facing
the
the
only
doctor
two
by
that
myself. Even the
are
pool of
still
stagnant
alive
water after a
out
torrential
of
storm
the
can
original
occasionally
7
pass as a
Archons
patch
is
of
Zhang
sky.
Li, aka Morax, or Rex Lapis, and Venti, aka Barbatos. And technically, to normal people, Morax is dead because Zhang Li, story-wise, faked his own death to test if people are ready to move on past the age of gods, the people of his land, which they passed, and he decided to retire as a god. So basically that means there's likely not going to be any new replacement Geo Archon, because one, Zhongli's still alive, and two, he feels there's no need for a new one, as people are able to handle themselves without a god.
Huh? But I
And have
wasn't
proven
trying
it.
to win your trust or anything. All I wanted was to clarify my point.
Like, really, I'm going to be one. I think my two favorite of the Archons right now is Nahida and Zhongli.
Are those poor people alright?
Damn. They really knocked it out of the park with him, honestly. Like,
The doctor mentioned depositing information
in terms of staying power, because, like, when you introduce several new important characters every chapter, it's easy for, like, some of the earlier ones to fall off, but he was, like, the second one we meet.
Yep.
And he's still this cool.
And there's the appearance of him
What a relief.
around. He's considered
sure pulled out some hidden
one of the most
cards,
wisest
but
sources for the
good thing we had Nahida
traveler
with
on
us.
info, being the
I wouldn't be relieved
oldest
just yet.
of all
I
the
gave
original
away my true identity
Archons
when
and
I
current
restored everyone's
Archons.
minds, which means we've
Yeah.
lost another one of our
Even
trump
older than
cards.
Venti.
Also, the doctor is
Because
already
let's be
an
honest,
expert
like,
at
people
modifying
may like
Akasha
how
terminals.
silly Venti is,
Maybe
but
it's only a matter of time until he captures my consciousness.
he's
inside
kind of
Akasha.
bland in my opinion.
No
And
longer be able to jump between
the main
minds?
thing that most people remember for is
Stop him. He's
alcoholic.
still at the academia, so it's possible he already started
Goofy,
I mean, the
drunk hard.
I mean, I'd rather people make the same alcohol joke over and over than the other weird fans of Venti.
What, that he's a femboy, basically?
Yeah, I love ambiguous ages.
Feels like
I don't know,
he's
like, the
with
way
us.
that Venti is
That
presented
doesn't work.
just makes that stuff
Doctor's
gross.
combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being
Anyway,
offered
dodging
to
that topic.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find another way to attack this problem.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's DI? Have you been waiting for us?
Yes, I have. I can see the traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by looking at the direction you were moving in. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? Did you find any leads?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and see what we can find?
Okay, let's just hope we won't get him into trouble.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get Tanari into trouble. He is a forest ranger, after all. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, he doesn't want to work for the academia because he's just happy as a forest ranger. Now, this is a surprise to see this person in here instead of Tignari.
Traveler? It is you!
Ah, the voice! It's Hypatia!
Ah, what a pleasant surprise! It's so nice to see the two of you again.
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the, what's it called? Satyavada life?
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come here, hardly anyone has even talked to me.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this.
Yeah, I will say, like, as much as I like Raiden Shogun as well,
You're not in training anymore?
you don't get to see her, like, real conflict
Did you already
until
finish your training and reach
the
Party
very
Porno
tail
Life?
end of Act 3 for the Inazuma chapter,
What
as
do you
well as
think?
her two
My consciousness
who
has
character
already
stories
managed to make contact with the
reacts,
divine.
which again you can't do until you finish Inazuma's main story. That, and she's still very much behind the scenes a lot of times. Like, she has good conflict, that's what I'm gonna say here, but I do.
Not enough of it is shown.
Yeah. Not a bad character, just not used as much as I feel they could.
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime joy with others at long last. When my consciousness made contact with the gods. Ah, what a supreme and unparalleled experience that was.
Okay.
Sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Actually, please wait. I haven't forgotten my promise to you. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection to the consciousness of the divine.
You can do that?
I I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try, I'll do my best to protect your consciousness during the process.
Hold on. I brought some spirit-born ale with me. This is still a crucial part of the ceremony.
We're using that incense again?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect your consciousness.
Oh, I think we're gonna have another pretty much what I usually call like the equivalent of an acid trip. Guys, remember how and I told you before, like, Sumeru feels like very trippy. You're gonna see why.
Oh boy.
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled.
Wait.
The first to betray me was a god. My creator.
Oh my god.
My mother. Value
This is actually not what I was expecting.
She saw
Oh,
no
right.
worth
Oh boy.
discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity.
Okay. Wait, not to
There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
Okay.
What was that?
Okay, I definitely see this now. That entire thing was Scaramouche, his backstory. The sixth Fatui Harbinger, the one who, at the end of, around the tail end of Chapter 2, Act 3, was stated to that in order to spare your life was given the Electro Archon's Gnosis, but instead of returning to the Fatui Harbingers and getting it, he ran away and went to Rogue, leaving even the Harbingers to send one of their own to hunt him down and recover the Electro Archon's Gnosis. We've had very little info of what he's planning, but more info of some of the things he's been manipulating behind different scenes around, or even in Azuma. And now that things, I think, pieced together what I feel his plot is. But I'll let you give your theory, what you think his plot is based on that.
I mean, based on the last line there, he's probably trying to become some form of god.
It seems like he is trying to wipe out all other gods and all pretty much human emotions and just take over. He is pretty much was the first puppet created by the Electro Archon, and he has had so much betrayals in his life. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but that is actually a well-written plot. And I know that Child even said that each Fatui Harbinger has their own personal agenda, aside from helping the Cryo Archon. And now it seems Scaramouche is taking his own agenda into action and is nearly there.
Damn.
This makes sense why he's likely the upcoming boss.
He's like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make this current situation that's pretty bad a little bit worse, because, he accidentally managed to create an entire civilization of people that I can hurt the emotions out of.
That is not a god. I mean, yeah, he was created by a god and technically has the power of a god right now with the Electro Archon's Gnosis, but he's not a god. But again, this, of all the rumors saying that Scaramouche is going to be playable as well, all the leaks and rumors saying he's going to be playable, I'm believing it more if they give him a redemption arc somewhere here. I'm actually hoping he's playable, because to have such an interesting character like that only to be killed off at the end of this chapter, I would be pissed.
Praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
It definitely suck.
Like, yeah, he's a villain, but at least give him a redemption arc if you want to make him playable.
Have I already lost my mind?
I mean, considering the fact that the last betrayal literally wasn't even, like, a betrayal. At least in the backstory, the way they presented it.
Yeah, from what I know, yeah. Oh no. This scene that pretty much horrified me in the trailers I think is coming up. Oh no.
Oh boy!
Oh no! No.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no. Something feels different. You're back!
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was destroyed.
Oh yeah, there's something I should mention. Catherine is a puppet made from the Cryo Archon land.
Defeat the mercenaries, and then he ran with us all the way here.
You still there?
Yeah?
Just making sure, because I thought I lost the internet for a second.
No, I'm trying to catch up. Like, you said the screen share thing is on? but I'm not seeing it, so I'm just at the mercy of Twitch lag.
Oh, it
Nahita's consciousness.
disconnected it somehow. Let me try and put it back
I
up.
never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this.
There.
Had I not
It
seen
was.
it with my own
It's just through
eyes,
OBS
I would
though.
have never believed it.
I mean, hey, better than lag.
With current human technology. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, "The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies."
No! Nahita's trapped in the sanctuary of Surasthana for good this time. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. She's being extra careful. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from that alchemical divination at the Sub-Zero's festival. Didn't Nahita use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. Do you think Nahita was telling us to go find help in the desert? But she isn't with us anymore. Think we'll be okay?
At least Nahita didn't die. Like,
You said
that's.
sanctuary
I think it
of
was still
Surasthana.
shocking.
Does this mean that this Nahita you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupying the traveler's body, is the Dendro Archon?
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated, so it's really hard for us to explain right now.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, safe to say I have witnessed that for myself. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so I trust you.
Yeah, I could definitely see you cosplaying Tignari there if I went with Coley.
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited
So I'm
to
guessing
join that project,
the
I'm
backside.
definitely
was
digging the
always
mirrors.
secretive about its scope and goals, so I eventually declined.
But of course, I want to
All I
also
know is
wait
that
before I
project
confirm
has
what
something to do with
Sumeru
the
character I want to
restoration of
cosplay,
Hermeso.
because we haven't had that many yet. Because so far we've had Koei and Tignari, and now we have 3 more characters playable. And 2 others confirmed. One new one coming for 3.2 along with Nahida, which none of us probably are small enough for Nahida.
Huh? Did you see something when you were
I mean, like,
in his body?
I know someone who might fit the bill, but I doubt they're willing to do it. Also because they just don't play Genshin.
What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god who is still in the process of being born.
Tainari? Did you leave?
Based on
Yeah,
the way
you
they
are
describe
right.
it.
Actually, you actually were right.
I did.
All the Scaramouche is trying to become
But since her
a
symptoms were
god
rather atypical, I
himself.
secretly took her to Party's DI and began searching
He's so
for
angered at people and
know.
other gods that he's just taking
If
things
I didn't
into
take
his own
action,
hands.
Hypatia would have already been taken
Quite
by the
literally.
lion
hey.
of the desert, doomed to a life of exile.
If you
in
can't
Faru
beat them,
village.
join them, and then beat them.
Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of Lesser Lord Kusanali, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation.
Yeah, you definitely do.
The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sumeru. Sounds like we're in for a bad time. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to intervene. But then, what is the connection between creating a new god and restoring Ermin's soul?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out. How about you, Tainari? What are you going to do?
Let's see.
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. That'll be your fastest route. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help. May the spirit of wisdom go with you.
See.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon. We're off then.
The god gazes back. Such a fitting achievement for what just happened. Alright, let's take a faster teleport route. As we now get to the new parts of here, the desert half of Sumeru. Because I love the rainforest jungle one. I'm not looking forward to the desert. Mainly for the fact I find deserts kind of boring. When has a desert been interesting in a video game?
Kirby's Epic Yarn. That's the only time I can think of.
We made it to Caravan Rabat. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
What is he doing here again?
Oh, Haytham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, there's another character that we won't see playable for quite a while, but people are looking forward to him. Who's pretty much confirmed to be a Dendril sword user.
What the... Where did he go? How did we lose him? They were just here a second ago.
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Al Haytham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list. I can't say that I didn't expect it. However, had I wished to turn you over to the academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
You really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you,
I'm really
I
interested
still
where
prefer
this is
to
going.
investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
That's right. We have the same plan as you. But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
Alright, to the deserts now. For real.
Time to go.
Alright, let's see how this desert is. Oh my god, is this a sandstorm actually? Hello?
The wind knows me.
Allow me! Covenants of the Deep!
Flaming mushrooms?
A fateful offering.
Another
Into the wind.
Rest and rebuild!
As one with wind and cloud.
Shiver!
subject. Replace my hammer.
The wind knows me.
My apologies if I take pauses to just kill enemies and get treasures. I am not going to be getting...
That's the game.
I'm not going to be getting everything at... Hello, what the hell are you?
Allow me!
Some kind of scorpion?
Germinate!
Torrent, bring refuge! Ha!
And it gives meat? Okay, that was weird. I did not expect a scorpion to give me meat, considering
I follow the wind.
bug. Or arachnid, I guess, more accurately. I'm not just doing a lot of explaining because I don't have a full map of the desert yet.
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else. What a cool place! Let's go check it out!
Wow, there's a lot of actual cutscenes this time. Oh hey, it's the new character that's now on the rolls. You know, it's hard to say. Cyno is how it's spelled.
Cyno. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Hatham, do not think you can escape my judgment just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Yeah, there's a reason as cool as this guy looks, I don't want to cosplay him. I think you can tell.
Al-Haytham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes.
He looks rad,
General
but
Mahamatra Cyno.
damn, that's an
All
outfit
Matra
choice.
of the Academia. He's a formidable
I
hunter,
get that's
the
pretty
ultimate
much.
nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
There's a lot of
You seem to have
Arabian
placed a lot of trust
themes
in Al-Haytham,
with
to the point of blocking the
Sumeru,
attack
and that's
for him.
one of them.
If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes
Like
out
there's
of his
two
mouth.
different kind of Arabian
I've been pursuing this scribe for a
Arabian
long
styles
time.
I'm seeing were kind of like
I urge
from around there. There's like the junk,
stand back
the
and do not
rainforest styles
seek to
that most of the
defend him
people
any
have had in the
longer.
rainforest area, like
Otherwise,
Tenari, and then there's
there
this
will
that's
be
definitely like
consequences.
more desert one.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Hyman doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormuz?
Nope.
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Cyno. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two? Ugh. What you would do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them.
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia?
Hey.
Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start fighting again.
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds.
Well, she got them to shut up.
Hey, did either of you hear a word
Or
I
maybe
just
not.
said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong. Is this a sandstorm? Paimon's gonna get blown away.
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover.
Someone's calling for us. Oh, this wind is too strong. Let's get over there.
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Man, I'm gonna say this right now. Chapter 3 has been a high point for the story. If it's,
Yeah.
If it's
Well, trying to find story summaries, I've also heard that a lot of people in general have been complimenting it.
It's really good. Like, if it's this good, I am looking forward to for her onward. If they can keep it up this high or go even higher. Like, I like Inazuma. I admit it has problems, but I don't think it's as bad as people say. Like, I'm gonna be honest here in my opinion. Because I remember them actually saying they had, like, after 1.6 they had, let's say, a 1.7, 8, and 9 planned before releasing Inazuma completely.
Sounds fun.
From what I remember. And then they just then jumped to Inazuma right away. I think fans got impatient, I'm gonna say, in my opinion. And they kind of caved and rushed it.
Until the sandstorm dies down.
I believe that, because, like,
I am Candace,
this fan base
can be toxic.
Very. I was gonna be a little more light, but yeah.
I'm not. I like Genshin, but I'm not nice about the toxic side of the fan base. Considering one of the comments I saw when they confirmed Nadia will be playable in version 3.2 said, "Hey Genshin devs, please stop giving us child model characters, please. It makes us look bad." Right. Okay, thank you. And people ask, why does it make us look bad? And they couldn't give a good reason until, and I'm gonna quote here until when people pressed more, or even after putting false words in that person's mouth. They said, in a game about sexualized waifus, having a child character models is problematic and bad.
And put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to
what?
say anything again while
I mean, like,
under this roof,
first off,
to send them out for some
I don't know.
with the creatures of the sandstorm.
The big question is, and a lot of people are countering them with, and I agree with those people, what's sexualized? Sure, you can say some of their outfits look sexy, maybe, like Candace, for example, but it's not sexualized!
Alright, we got it, Candace.
Like, at most, it appeals to the male gaze as much as any other game, but it's, like, not nearly as sexualized as a lot of other games in its same, like, space. Like, I am the #1 fan in this stream right now. That game's super fucking sexualized and not even shy about it, and Genshin's not even nearly as bad in
so there's
any
no
way.
shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra
Like,
knowing my whereabouts,
there's a lot of things to call out with Genshin, but they even toned down the sexualization. Sure, it was because of China censorship, but still.
No, that one's
Clearly, that is
just
the
because
focus.
China's politics suck. We can just say that bluntly. China's politics suck.
What little they did report clearly did not match the project's
But
actual
in general, I don't think, like...
As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit.
Anything due to the redesigns, because it isn't the focus of the... It isn't something the developers really focus on. They just hire designers that make characters that happen to be a little too sexy for some regions.
But I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence.
Hey, person that's joining my world with, you know, as much as I could just get to fight along with me, I'm doing a story. Next time I get a chance, I'm turning that off for now.
The Grand Sage rejected my
And again, I will say this to the devs. This game is now at a point I think it's popular enough that you need to implement a friend's own invite.
To judge us.
Like either our friends only invite or like
I realized then that
at the very least, the fact that I forget, you used to be part of the subscription model for this game. Are you still?
Oh no, it's not. It's not subscription required. You can. It's either you allow.
No. I'm saying it's in like. I'm saying it's in like.
Today.
Are you still part of that? Because I know that there are some games that are like, if you're a free-to-play member, you don't have rights.
There's no real subscription. It's just either you pay for the battle pass for the second half of it with extra, slightly better rewards.
Someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth.
Or you just pay for one full month of free primo gems a day, 90 free primo gems a day.
Oh, huh?
There's no real subscription.
I misremembered. Yeah. Either way, though, they could lock it to where if you're at least not a free-to-play member, like if you've spent money on the game before.
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between all.
Because I know that there is some kind of abuse of power if you give all free-to-play accounts the same. But that's mostly a problem with them being able to join you anyway.
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Knowing your suspicious behavior.
Long walk for a short glass of water. And I think fix your game.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things to fix, but
tasked with investigating the traveler,
like the artifact grind, but they might not.
The promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment,
they have at least added a lot more
glimpse of divine knowledge,
more things to help people, such as an option for the artifact and talent section. Like, here's collective data from all players have played of these are the kind of stats you should be looking for in the artifacts for this character.
That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective,
but of course they label that as a recommendation, not a do this if you want the best. It's like if you want to know what collectively all the players say is the best thing to go for this character, here's the stats you should be looking for.
The lead of the divine knowledge capsule.
Otherwise, it's pure build how you want.
To this rather than collaborating with the sages.
I like that they at least are showing you a general recommendation collectively.
Like that Einal Ahmar mercenary.
It makes things easier for some people who aren't sure how to build certain characters.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you using one of those capsules?
While still encouraging some of the crazier builds I heard existing, such as DPS Barbara.
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I
Listen.
Academia, I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear.
Getting a little silly with things is what gives life to games. So,
investigating the divine
I mean,
yes, Barberville, sure.
I mean, heck, you could probably slowly start to improve your Noel if you returned to this. Like, if you returned to this before, sometime before or around when the second banner for this version starts up, you can just roll for Albedo, and then all you need to do is get 2 other Geo characters that are 4 stars, and you will have a 4-character Geo team with Noelle and those ones, and pretty much make her probably the most powerful DPS you could make.
Yes.
Considering both herself and 2 other support characters help boost her attack based on their defense. Actually, one does that. One boosts your defense more of your characters, which means, hey, time to boost attack more, since one boosts attack based on its own defense, and Noelle's attack with her burst goes up based on her defense.
You should be well aware,
and meanwhile, Albedo is just like, hey, do you love spamming your elemental bursts to get a lot of good stat buffs or heavy overpowered damage? Let me just create a lot of energy particles, and considering you have a 4-character Geo team, everyone's getting Geo particles no matter what.
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence.
I think I just made you just smile, didn't I, at that thought?
Yep.
Good.
I definitely want to try to play this game, like...
And now you, Dia.
I don't know.
Before it hits the end game, game final chapter.
The boys were talking about must have been so
It's more so that I want to play this game for the trippy experience that is this current chapter becomes like old news. Because if it's good enough, I have a distinct feeling there's some meme culture potential, and I know of all things that shouldn't be my goal, but fuck it.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, honestly.
Then I saw these 2 random guys.
But again, a chapter this high so far from what I'm seeing.
Things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back.
I am again looking forward to how the next chapters would be, considering chapter 4 will be the goddess of justice.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats,
She's either going to have a very warped personality or be one of the first Archons you met in a while that isn't doing bad things. I mean,
from what I know in the Teyvat trailer one, and I am paying attention to the story people, but it's just like right now it's just more. Right now just is a lot of talk about what the academia is doing and CNO's and Altheum's part in all of it. Like, they don't seem fully bad guys, but they also have different things that leave them sort of untrustworthy, since one is the highest military officer of the academia, and one is basically a researcher in there that has some of his own agenda stuff, but it opposes the sages. But yeah, again, while I guess we're like now walking around, from what I know in the Teyvat storyline trailer, from what Dainsleif said for chapter 5, the goddess of the court. Actually, what? I'm gonna actually look up the quote because I can't remember it. Chapter 4. Let's see. Oh, there it is. The god of justice lives for the spectacle of the courtroom, seeking to judge all other gods. But even she knows not to make an enemy of the divine. That's the plot line for the Hydro Land. What it means yet, we're not going to know until version 4.0. Which is not going to be for a while, of course. Considering we're still on chapter 3. Also, I see a Dendronculus around here somewhere. But yeah, go on. You can say your theories on that, based on that line, if you want, while I try to find that Dendronculus before we press on.
I feel.
Yes.
Sorry, just like.
There it is.
I feel like not making enemies of the divine. Is Dendro next? Is that?
No, this is the Dendro. This is the Dendro. Hydro is next.
Hydro. That's the quote that I'm. Sorry. Words are weird. Anyway. I wonder if it's gonna be like. Realistically, this is going to be a bit of a stretch, but not making enemies of the divine, and the fact that, like, this is concluding with the birth of a new god, so to speak.
Well, that birth's gonna likely stop by the end of this one, if that means we're gonna stop the Balladeer and the Doctor.
I mean, that would be the goal, wouldn't it? But who's to say that that works?
I mean, based on leaks of what they're saying is the motive for leading to Scaramouche being playable is that he wants redemption after feeling what he did was wrong. So I don't know how or if those are true, but assuming it is, we're gonna realize, we're gonna make him probably realize the errors of his actions, and some of those people never really betrayed him, because he said the Electro Archon betrayed him by giving him life and then throwing him out in the world, but she wanted him to basically live a free life. Yes, he was a test to see if of how making puppet life could work, but she wanted him to be free to live his own life. That's just what I'm feeling. So
Time to go.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be weird to build up the thing as, like, to build them up as a boss and then have the resolution of that boss be kind of weightless.
Yes.
But it's just,
They
it could just be
keep coming
neat.
in waves. I've lost count of how many
You
I've
played it
seen.
out a little longer.
Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
I mean, we'll see, likely.
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action.
But obviously, like, no, there's no redemption for the Doctor.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Yeah, it'd be kind of fucked up to try to redeem a character like that, at the very least, like, in a chapter.
If they're smart to not pull what happened to Signora, they'd wait on killing him until you go to the Cry Archon's land. Like, they don't have to make him a boss fight to kill you there. And personally, and say this a lot, I would rather them avoid making Cryo land this huge boss rush against many of the Fatui Harbingers and the Cryo Archon herself.
Creature stopped appearing.
I'm like, please to God, do not do that, please.
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe
That would be
for
like
the time being.
too many bosses in my
Well fought,
opinion.
everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the villages.
Nah, fuck it, man. Boss rush. Do it.
I know you're joking, but still, please no.
Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent.
I wonder if these sandstorms have anything to do with the battle with Scaramouche, considering leaks are saying his element is Animo.
These unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars exiled here by the Academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia Forest. The Academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations.
He's
Thank you
a
for your
former
help.
general.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of
I
my
do want to
former
get Sino as a
subordinates.
Primo character, but again,
Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so
partly I also
far.
want to save my Primo gems for Albedo's rerun. It's like get a good Electro DPS character, even though I have some pretty good Electros already, or save for the Geo support I need to complete my Geo team.
Although I've sent myself into exile.
Like
I'm
a
still doing
team full of
essentially the
Geo?
same things
Yeah,
as
that's
before. Do you still have any questions?
The team I told you about to convince you to make is the exact team.
You're
I've
making
also made.
You're making one yourself? Okay. No. That's why I was confused. I thought you were trying to tell me to do something that's like rogue meta, like fucking battle Barbara. But if it's actually a viable strategy, that's pretty good news.
In a strange incident. The academia has long.
Sorry, I thought you were spitballing and theory crafting there.
Nope.
A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars.
Yeah, chapter 4. I'm looking forward.
Incident one night changed that.
Yeah, well, we were saying your theories though on the whole. What I told you for the whole.
The strongest earthquake in living memory.
Judging even the gods, but not making an enemy of the divine.
The then chief of the village.
Yeah, it's like
to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a.
If they're judging the gods, then there has to be some other form of divinity they're alluding to.
A soft green light.
Like usually the way I mean judging the gods is they're judging the mistakes of the previous gods before their in the chapters you've done before theirs.
Almost as if they.
Although in all honesty, it would not surprise me if the game wants to go towards the idea that like, yes, these are gods, but like in true
they're not perfect
with greater kindness.
Well, not necessarily that, though. That is definitely something that they're imparting. More like, I'm trying to find the right
they're
words.
just as human as us.
I mean, like, I'm more wondering if they're gonna make there be something above the gods, but like, because if Gnosis' form as a natural process.
The Gnosis is pretty much like the god's form of a vision, but it's more like pure divinity, the symbol of them being a god, the symbol of their divinity.
It would not surprise me if they make it to where it's like some kind of primordial, like, non-conscious being that grants the Gnosis.
I think
we have a plural for that made-up word.
So,
Nosai?
What do you make of the story?
Noses. I'm just gonna call them noses. It's like, you know,
really?
Who would be the judge of who is worthy and who isn't of a Gnosis?
I mean, Gnosis aren't given, they're just, gods are just born and get their Gnosis when they're born. From what it's saying.
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you.
Isn't that proven false by what is currently happening? And also the fact that gods can have their Gnosis taken away?
I mean, taken away does not mean they lose their god powers.
On the late greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
Exactly, it's a symbol of their god powers granted to them through divinity.
In addition,
also like the whole like turning
Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds.
To
me,
into a god, Scaramouche is doing is more like artificial one than actual births, which is something I think only a science level of the Doctor could do.
Yeah.
But even that likely has the downsides that he doesn't care about. Because to him, he doesn't care about downsides in his experiments.
That, if all honesty, if they make it to where it's like, oh yeah, I was sort of just along for this ride because I wanted to see if it would fuck up, and it fucked up.
So I can easily tell.
So have fun cleaning up my mess of a fake god.
Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar.
But yeah, as for Fatui involvement, I'm not sure if
How can this be?
I could be wrong, but I am expecting at least
this entire time.
Now it's our turn to put our skills to good
the marionette, the harbinger known as the marionette or the puppet, as she's called. Mainly because spectacle of the courtroom, the train, like the courtroom's like a show room, and
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my
the marionette harbinger basically creates a lot of robotic dolls
By the
that serve
sounds of
her.
it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
You're saying like for next chapter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling she's
check
gonna
it out.
be one of the main antagonists of that
Don't
one.
say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa.
I mean, like,
Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad
if they go far enough into the literal, or into like the current word judging, it'd be interesting for her to have like
Why do you call him Grandpa?
a jury of herself.
Grandpa
Effectively.
is just Grandpa. He's my family. I
Like,
heard
of all her
everything
little
said to the
robots that
village
agree with her
chief.
mindlessly.
You gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa.
Either that or
I'll help.
I could see the ninth Fatui harbinger
so you're the one who was
Regrator,
eavesdropping on us around the
or
village
known
chief's
as the
house.
rich man in Chinese,
I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it
being
was.
involved as
But I had a vague
well,
feeling that they didn't
if not both of them.
That'd be some interesting commentary if they actually did that. Like, maybe unintentionally, but I doubt it'd be unintentional, but it'd be cool.
Sorry.
They'd probably play it off that way, though.
Listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
Like, the only other chapter that I kind,
All right.
like one of my friends like that played this also said they hope that there's at least a plot that the Fatui, not counting the Cryoland, that the Fatui isn't behind the scenes part of the manipulation. And the only land I can think of is Chapter 5 of the Pyro Archon's land, which, as it says in the to that chapter storyline preview, the rules of war are woven in the womb. The victors shall burn bright, while the losers must turn to ash. When the god of war shares this secret with the traveler, it is because she has her reasons. Like, this is just my theory for chapter 5, considering it's the last chapter before you go to the Cryo Archon's land, aka the home of the Cryo Archon and the Fatui Harbingers themselves.
Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
Considering the Pyro Archon's Gnosis is the last one they need by that point, she's gonna probably be like, fuck everything, go to war with the Cryo Archon's
I still noticed
land.
him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his
And
grandfather back.
you're gonna be caught in the middle between both sides. So the Fatui
Isak's parents were
technically
both
didn't
Aramite
trigger it, but they
mercenaries who
are
rarely returned
involved
to the village after
in
finding
a
employment in the
war
city.
scale, and you're gonna have to
He was
find a way
raised by
to
his grandfather.
not only stop the
Unfortunately,
Fatui from getting
it
her
was only a
Gnosis,
few
but
years before his
calm down the
grandpa passed
war.
away. Isak was still very young at the time.
I mean, if you have different
Very
theories
young
from
in
that
the
than
village
that
to
one,
turn
by all
caring for
means.
him so he
But
could
if you
survive.
agree with that, share your
Later,
thoughts.
An elderly
I
mad
honestly,
scholar
I don't
arrived at the
know.
village.
That would check out.
Isak
Like,
the scholar bore striking
I mean, it makes
resemblance
sense because
to
again,
a lot
by
of the right
story
boxes.
wise, I mean, again, like story wise
However,
point
the
that
scholar was
that fits
incompetent
because
appearance and
they just need a
incoherent
Pyro Archon and its Gnosis by
Although
that
Isak
point.
referred to the man as his
And people say like Cryo Archon's
he was
Gnosis, you're forgetting. I'm like,
and didn't dare to approach
you
him.
forget.
One summer night,
Fatuis
the
and their
oft-mumbling and
harbingers
grumbling
serve the
grandpa
Cryo
suddenly
Archon.
calmed down
So what
and
need
seemed
do they
to become
have for her
lucid.
Gnosis when
He
and
even noticed Isak
Gnosis?
hiding in the distance. So Grandpa welcomed
Yeah,
Isak
like, more
and
likely
patted
than
him
not,
on the head.
she's just gonna eat all
He
the
even took
noses.
Isak to the entrance of the village, where he
I mean,
patiently taught
we
the
know
boy the
nothing,
names
and
of the
I'm
stars.
actually happy they did not
Accompanied
give
Isak
the
until
divine
he fell
virtue of the
asleep.
Cryo
The
Archon,
next morning,
nor
Isak woke up and
what
wanted to
her
go find his
goal
grandpa
is,
again.
because
only to realize his grandpa.
It's definitely better to play it up because it like.
Even so,
I'm gonna read again what it says for Chapter 6 for the Cryocarn's land.
said that those who saw
She
the
is a
sky
god
claimed
with
he
no
no
left
longer
left for her
appeared to be
people,
crazy,
nor do they have
but
any
appeared to be living
left
in
for
his own
her.
world,
Her followers
almost as
only
if he were sleepwalking.
her followers hope only
Aesop was
to be
thrilled
on
that
her
his
side
grandpa
when
was
the
able to
day
find
of her
peace,
rebellion against the
and
divine
following
comes
all
at
the
last.
time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you
Okay,
somewhere
I feel
fun?"
like that
or,
just re-solidifies the fact that the divine is separate from the godhood.
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems like they both
Probably.
deserve so much better.
I believe. Again, we don't
Nearly
know.
everyone who lives
Oh,
in the
and
desert
that's
has some
why
form
they're
of
keeping
hardship
so
and
much in the
regret.
dark for the Cryo Archon.
But
But
even so,
the other
we
characters
must
are
still
keeping into the
continue
dark, but
on
there's
with our
plenty of
lives.
theories of.
It's also my reason for fighting.
Is the
continue to
Fatui
protect
Harbinger's
this
number one. Like, we know his design, and his design alone is what sparked all these theories about him. Such as, he's possibly
Maybe the people have always had a considerate God watching over them.
a resident from Conria that was
No,
the opposite side of the first
as long as Esau keeps his word
great
and doesn't get in our
war
way,
that led to the Cataclysm
we can take him
and
along.
the death
Perhaps you are
of
more
all but
compassionate than I
two of
gave
the
you credit
original
for.
7 Archons.
Please accept my thanks
In order to
on
stop
Esau's
Conria
behalf, Sinai.
from some reason that we don't know. And again, go look up the Fatui Harbingers and click the name of the number one and tell me he does not give you Getz's vibes still. I hope you're doing that right now while we're waiting for this.
I'm on it. Holy fuck, man. Yeah, that's Getz's. I mean, like, not in a plagiarism type of way, but in like a this is intimidating in the same way.
Like, this is my feeling, like, I mean, like, I would not be surprised, like, if he played on the Cryo Archon's motives for some of his own personal goals, and chapter 6 is not going to be the whole, you're going to put it into the beat him and the Cryo Archon to put it into the Fatui Harbingers. He's likely, you're going to probably put it into the Harbingers, he's likely going to get away, and that's where you probably have to somehow pursue him to Conria in order to stop not just him, but likely the plot line that's still left over of the whole Abyss Order and your other sibling. Your sibling. I mean,
Wonder.
Alright. He's not connected to the he's not connected to the Abyss Order, but he is likely connected to Conria.
He might be connected to the Abyss Order if, like, not connected as in league with, but more. I'm trying to remember what we know about the Abyss Order, and I also know very little in general.
All
From what
of
I
it
can
is
tell,
from the Dane's Leaf. Like, basically, all you need about the Abyss Order is the Abyss Mages, the Abyss Lectors, the Abyss Heralds, and even the Hilla Trolls and their other kinds of it were all originally citizens of Conria before the Cataclysm happened and turned them into the monsters that they are.
Yeah. So they're inherently not Fatui, but they're also considered to be aware, and I wonder if the Abyss Order is going to be part of the Divine or part of
no, they have their,
Divine.
They have their own goal against just the Divine, but that's different from the Fatui. That's all we know.
See where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side
It'd
of the
certainly
road,
be interesting if the last thing,
and eating
like, not a redemption of the Fatui, but more like a, listen, we can both agree that this bitch gotta go, and then you shoot Paimon and the story ends.
No, I think that's all I have to tell you. Sorry.
Heck, that'd be a good excuse to add some of the Fatui that can't be redeemed as playable characters.
Wherever in this world I go, I carry memories of my home. This blade.
Probably might not happen, but considering Signora is dead.
Well, like, not all of them, but, like, the alive ones.
We'll see again in time. But to read...
Scholars that have gone missing.
Well, we're looking for the scholars.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
To read the plot that's for chapter 7, which is when we go to Conria.
Don't change the subject.
What it says, in the perpetual meantime of a sheltered eternity, most are content to live and not to dream. But in the hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall, there are those who dream of dreaming. Some say a few are chosen, the rest are drags. But I say we humans have our humanity. We will defy this world with a power from beyond.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others
Yeah,
are good people?
and keep in mind, Conria is a nation outside of Tibet that has no god. It's a godless nation focused around advancement of technology a lot. Because that's where all the ruined gods and most of the ruined creatures are from. Conria.
Still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it.
So clearly the disorder is like some form of remnant of that.
Pretty much that's what it is, like, because, like, again,
I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
They are mainly composed of
Thank you.
the citizens turned into monsters after some of the events. Though some have been wiped out and killed or are dead, some turned into those. And then there's some that, like Dainsleep, which still has his humanity, but suffers the same similar curse that others have of not being able to see the light.
Yeah.
Sir?
I just noticed the time. I apologize. I think I gotta go.
Space out near the village entrance.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak.
Yeah,
Grandpa.
we might just do a part two of this on it because this is definitely getting long. I'll see where this chapter is going to take me.
Like any of the food I prepared, despite my wife's protests.
Maybe after this scene, and then I might just end off it and see if I can do some exploring without triggering.
My wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make
some
enough
story.
Mora. Explain why she's
Cool. Hope you have fun with that. I'll definitely catch you next time, bud.
We'll continue this on
it was
at 8 p.m. Pacific tomorrow.
Did you go for a walk and get lost?
Looking forward to it.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you. I've known you since you were very young, so as far as I'm concerned, you're family.
Yeah, sorry about like all the different talks of future chapters, guys, but this chapter's just been a hard hitting for me.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Okay, so as long as I don't go near there.
Time to go.
So yeah, that will be it, guys. We will pick this up again tomorrow, because I definitely need to sleep as well. See you all then. Later for now.